From workplace discrimination to vehicular homicide, the cast of Melrose Place have had to face much worse than a botched reboot. The first season of Melrose Place didn't exactly hit the ground running. In 2009, Heather Locklear told the New York Times that the show was boring, saying, "It was all nice people, and really, there are some bad people in the world." To boost the sagging ratings, Aaron Spelling called on the TJ Hooker star to shake things up. In a 2012 interview with Television Academy, the producer explained that Locklear succeeded in delivering the sizzle to the show as conniving ad exec Amanda Woodward, and ratings soared as a result. Showrunner Darren Star told TV Line in 2017, Amanda Woodward was not conceived as a villain. She was just going to be Allison's boss for a few episodes, but then Heather came in and said, hello, and it just seemed devious.
I'm responsible for getting us into this thing, I'll get us out.
Star added that Locklear was having such a good time on the show, he decided to roll with it. Unsurprisingly, she was willing to stick around longer than initially planned. As she told Good Morning America, she was thrilled to be a part of the Melrose Place legacy. In the years following Melrose Place, Locklear's career carried on, but behind the scenes, she struggled with legal troubles and substance use. In an October 2021 interview with People, Locklear seemed to be in a better place, marking over 2 years of sobriety. She said, I feel young. I'm a young 60. It's all about perspective. Off-screen romances happen all the time, but there is a lot to unpack with the Melrose Place roster. Early on, Courtney Thorne-Smith and Andrew Shue dated. Later in the series, Thorne-Smith also dated Grant Show. In 2014, writer-producer Charles Pratt Jr. told Vulture, Show and Courtney Thorne-Smith were together, and when they weren't, we were all pretty sure that's why she left the show. Show also dated Laura Leighton. When the actors initially got together, they wanted their characters to link up too, which didn't happen. Back then, the show was filming 34 episodes per year, so actors were working all the time. Pratt Jr. added, they get a lot of money, they start dating each other, and that's always a disaster. Leighton wound up marrying castmate Doug Savant in 1998. Savant told People, the best thing that happened to me as a result of Melrose was meeting my wife. Josie Bazette and Rob Estes were married when the show premiered, but split up in 2006. Both the Wedding March star and the Silk Stockings actor have since remarried. Heather Locklear connected with former co-star Jack Wagner in 2008 and announced their engagement in 2011. A few months later, Wagner called it off, citing the pressures of planning a wedding and blending their families as the reason for their separation, according to TMZ. For Grant Show, playing Jake Hansen on the hit series was without a doubt his breakout role. In 2021, he was even recognized as one of the iconic leading men of 90s TV by E.T.
You're waiting for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, we made a mistake here, pal.
Show claimed the icon status he achieved was largely due to the character of Jake, rather than his performance. In fact, it was the role of the bad boy with a sensitive side that plagued his personal and professional life for years to come. Show told the New York Times in 2008, a few years after Melrose Place, when the luster of Melrose Place wore off and what was left was just the stink and I was just doing bad TV movies, that was a personal low point. The Swingtown alum added that he didn't work at all for a while, presumably because he had been pigeonholed as the Melrose Place guy. Once he shook that notion, everything began to fall into place. And no, not the one on Melrose. Following his time in the 90210 universe, he's gone on to appear on Private Practice and 5 seasons of Dynasty as Blake Carrington. Vanessa Williams played Rhonda on Season 1 of Melrose Place, and was not asked back for Season 2. Rhonda was the only black character on the show's main roster, and Williams said producers didn't seem to care if she fit into the series' world. Speaking to TV Guide in 2020, she shared, I think they didn't make the effort to equip themselves to write for a black character, either by hiring a black writer or asking me things. Williams added that as the show went on, her character fell to the wayside. Williams moved on to many other projects, including Days of Our Lives and the Showtime series Soul Food. In the TV Guide interview, she celebrated the significance of the Showtime series, stating, "We don't see Black people celebrated in all our humanity. It fortifies Black folks in a way they haven't been on an hour-long drama." Hunter Tylo was hired in 1996 to play the role of Taylor McBride on the Fox series, but her performance never made it to screen. After she became pregnant, she was cut from the roster. According to CNN, the actor sued Aaron Spelling Entertainment and Spelling Television Inc., citing pregnancy discrimination, wrongful termination, and breach of contract.
This conversation is years in the making.
The Associated Press reports that in 1997, she won nearly $5 million from a Superior Court jury. In the courtroom, the show's legal team maintained that while pregnant, she would not be able to portray the character as written. Tylo claimed a producer on the show even said she should get an abortion. The actor went on to state she was being treated unfairly, and her team pointed out the creative steps production took when Heather Locklear was pregnant and still on the series. Following the jury's decision, Tylo stated, "People were telling me I would never make it, that I was hurting my career, but I came through all of it." She then returned to her job on the CBS soap she'd left in order to appear on Melrose Place. Despite the problematic circumstances, the controversy between Tylo and showrunners did leave an opening among the Melrose Place cast. The role of Taylor McBride was filled by future Real Housewife of Beverly Hills Lisa Rinna. Doug Savant played Matt Fielding on Melrose Place, one of the few gay characters to appear on primetime up to that point. However, as writer-producer Carol Mendelsohn explained to Vulture in 2014, Fox wouldn't permit Matt and his boyfriend to kiss on the show, let alone be in bed together. Mendelsohn recalled, "Fortunately, we've come a long way in 20 years.
Is that guy gay?
Yeah, what about it?
Nothing. I'm just not used to seeing somebody so upfront about it.
After playing Matt for a few years, Savant's personal life was made public, much to his dismay. As a straight married man, he did not want his own sexuality to be something people latched onto. Speaking to Rolling Stone in 1994, he said, "There are other straight actors who have played gay characters and then shouted their straightness to the media at every chance. I think that's disgraceful." In 2017, Savant looked back at his audition for Melrose Place, recalling the whole experience for The Hollywood Reporter as shallow and superficial. He explained that he didn't feel like he offered what casting directors were looking for, stating, "So when they wanted to make a test deal and take me to network, I was flummoxed. I was excited too because Matt was an exceptional character, and maybe the lone openly gay character on mainstream TV at the time." Amy Locane played Sandy Harling in the first season of Melrose Place, but was cut after just 13 episodes. The actor didn't have much experience at the time and had a hard time bouncing back from her termination. She told Entertainment Weekly in 2017, "Things got a lot tougher after that whole debacle. I never did a TV show after that." After years of lackluster acting gigs and unsuccessful auditions, the crybaby star left Hollywood altogether and moved back home to New Jersey. From there, the troubled actor's life became far more complicated. In 2010, Locane was convicted of vehicular homicide after striking and killing a woman while driving drunk. The Daily News reports that the victim's husband was also severely injured in the crash. According to NJ.com, she was sentenced to 3 years in prison in 2013. Locane was released in 2015, but in 2020 she landed back behind bars when a judge found that her original sentence wasn't long enough. In a 2017 interview with NJ.com, she admitted, "I made a horrible mistake on June 27, 2010, one that devastated a lot of people. All I can do is stay sober and make my life a living amends to the life of Helene Seaman." In 2018, Marcia Cross, who played Dr. Kimberly Shaw in Melrose Place, took to social media to share that she was receiving cancer treatment. She wrote, "So grateful and happy to be alive, but sad that my hair fell out and is about 1 inch long now and looks cray-cray. Anyone else have hair loss due to cancer? Talk to me. I feel you." The Desperate Housewives actor later clarified she was in recovery from anal cancer. In another post, she explained how great it felt to be open about her diagnosis. She wrote, "How or why this simple act gave me such a powerful lift I did not question. But I thanked God or whatever gave me the internal push to move forward and expose myself. The image of Cross in her post was oddly similar to an iconic scene from Melrose Place, where Kimberly pulls off her wig to reveal a substantial scar. The actor told The Hollywood Reporter that it wasn't until that reveal that she realized how essential her role on the show was. Thomas Colabro was the only cast member to appear in the first and last episodes of Melrose Place, including the 2009 reboot, according to the Los Angeles Times. The actor said that when he read for the role, he wasn't optimistic. He shared with The Hollywood Reporter in 2017, "They told me when I went to audition that I was 10 years too old for the part, and I should forget about it." Colabro told She Knows in 2010 that he was excited to explore a new chapter of Michael Mancini's life in the CW's reboot of the primetime drama. Unfortunately, the reviews for the reincarnation of Melrose Place were mixed. As Matthew Gilbert of the Boston Globe wrote, "And so I like the new Melrose Place, in that I think it has the potential to be as addictive and phony as a can of Pringles potato crisps." What lives on, Doug Savant told THR, are the sweet memories of a time gone by. He mused, "People have great affection for that show because it takes them back to that time in their life when they felt they were the Melrose Placers, embarking on their journey into the adult world."
It's all falling apart.
Alas, after pulling in dismal ratings, the show got the axe after just one season. If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. 4357.